It's Macy back with Macy's Reading Corner, reading The Kingdom of Wrenly, The Lost Stone by Jordan Quinn, illustrated by Robert McPhillips. Contents: Chapter 1, A Secret Mission. Chapter 2, Lucas the Brave. Chapter 3, Kindness is King. Chapter 4, Hear Ye, so on. A Secret Mission. Prince Louis raced up the spiral stone staircase in the castle to his bedroom. He kneeled on the floor and pulled a pile of clothes out from under his bed. There was a pair of worn trousers, a shabby shirt, a felt hat, scruffy leather boots, and a wool cloak. Lucas had gotten the clothes for a handful of coins from a boy in the village. Now the prince stood before the mirror and tried on the hat. This outfit will make me look like a normal 8-year-old boy, he thought. Nobody will ever know that I'm the Prince of Wrenly. And that was the problem. Lucas had grown bored of being a prince. Most kids would think he must be crazy. Lucas had everything a boy or girl could wish for: a cozy goose feather bed, toys fit for a prince, the best cooks in the land to make his meals, and a view of the sea from the top of his turret. Lucas had even had his very own horse named Ivan, but there was one thing the prince did not have. Prince Lucas wanted a friend. More than anything in the world, he had a friend once, a pretty green-eyed girl named Clara Gills. Clara's mother, Anna, made dresses for Lucas's mother, Queen Tasha. Anna always brought Clara when she came to the castle. Clara and Lucas played hide and seek and twirled on the swings in the royal playroom. But not anymore. Lucas's father, King Caleb, had forbidden it. He said, "A proper prince does not play with village children." Lucas had cried until his nose got stuffy. So day after day, Lucas watched the village children walk to and from school. Sometimes they stopped at the bakery for breadsticks. In the afternoon, Lucas watched the children climb trees and play tag in the meadows. How he longed to laugh and play with them. And now maybe I can have friends, he thought, because I, Prince Lucas, have a magnificent plan. But Lucas had to hurry. It was time to go. He stuffed warm clothes into his sack and then slung the sack over his shoulder. Next, he tied a thick rope to the windowsill, crawled to the ledge, slid down the rope, and ran to the stables where he saddled Ivan. Then Lucas checked to see if anyone was around. All clear, he thought. He hopped onto Ivan. He gave him a soft kick and galloped away on his secret mission. Chapter 2, Lucas the Brave. Lucas had dashed over a bridge and down into the village. Chickens squawked and scattered to get out of his way. The villagers bowed and tipped their hats as they rode by. Clang! Clang! The school bell rang down the lane. Lucas slapped the reins and hurried towards the sound of the bell. As he drew near, he leaped over a stone wall and came to a rest. He hopped from the saddle and quickly changed his clothes. Lucas tucked his curly red hair inside the felt hat. He grabbed a handful of dirt and smudged it on his cheeks. He tied Ivan to a low tree branch and hung the sack with his princely clothes from the saddle. Well, Ivan, he said, here goes. Lucas climbed over the stone wall and stood in front of the schoolhouse. A swirl of smoke curled from the chimney. Lucas took a deep breath. "Today I am Lucas the Brave," he said to himself. Then he marched up to the schoolhouse and slowly pulled the doors open. Creak! The children sat in front of the teacher on benches. Everyone turned to stare at Lucas. A girl with a thin braid crowning her brown hair gasped and cupped her hand over her mouth. "Good morning, boy," said the teacher. "Are you here to join us?" "Yes," said Lucas. "I'm new in town." "Please have a seat," she said. "I'm Mistress Carson. What's your name?" "My name is Flynn," he fibbed as the prince as he sat down on a bench in the back of the classroom. "Welcome," Mistress Carson said. "Class, please say good morning to Flynn." "Good morning, Flynn," said the class. "Now, all eyes on me," said the teacher. "We're going to work on subtraction." The children turned towards the teacher, all except the girl with a braided crown. It was Clara, Lucas's old friend from the palace. She looked at the prince and raised an eyebrow. The prince winked at her. She smiled and quickly looked away. Nobody seemed to notice. Mistress Carson wrote some sums on a large slate at the front of the classroom. "Now, who would like to solve a problem at the board?" she asked. The prince's hand shot up. He loved to add and subtract. His father had taught him his math at home. Mistress Carson called Lucas up to the board. All the children watched as the new boy walked to the front of the class. "I'm going to have lots of friends," Lucas thought. Then he began to work on one of the problems. The room was quiet except for the chalk tapping on the board until boom, boom, boom. Someone began to pound on the doors of the school. The children jumped in their seats. Lucas froze. His heart began to thump. The teacher hurried to the back of the room and opened the doors. Two burly men burst in. Lucas dropped the chalk on the floor. "Oh no," he thought. "The palace guards!" He wanted to run, but the doors were blocked. "There he is!" shouted one of the guards as he pointed at Lucas. "That's the Prince of Wrenly!" Mistress Carson and all the children gasped. The other guard ran towards the prince, grabbed him by the arm, and led him towards the doors. Clara waved as Lucas walked by. Lucas hung his head. "Now I'll never have any friends," he thought.